Year 2 on the I.S.S. Avenue, no rhyme intended, kicks off the 2024 movie season with International Space Station, also known as I.S.S. Just got done seeing it, let's talk about it. What is going on, everybody? It is I, yours truly, the Ace, here with my first review of the 2024 movie season, and we are going to jump started with I.S.S. International Space Station. And before I get started, join me down in the comment section and let me know if you saw this movie and what you thought about it. I would love to hear it. So without further ado, here's my review. A lot of rhyming in this video. Anyways, but let's get into it. Going into this movie, I thought this was a very intriguing concept. A space paranoia thriller that takes place on the International Space Station with 3 American astronauts and 3 Russian cosmonauts that have to commandeer the space station by any means necessary once war breaks out between the United States and between Russia. Interesting, very, very interesting concept, and it really does have real-world implications. This stuff could actually happen. Stuff like that definitely draws me in. Going into this movie, I thought it was solid. Definitely something that feels like a January type movie, not a blockbuster, but something that they put in the beginning of the year that could pique a lot of people's interest. But I can definitely see this as a movie that gets lost in the shuffle, especially as the movie season rolls out. Being that this is in the beginning of the year, it had an interesting concept, but is it enough to really catch people's attention? But to me, I went to go see it because of how intrigued I was, but I thought this was a very solid movie. This movie is at its best when it plays with the tone and the tension. First half of the movie was very, very interesting. Obviously, I'm not an astronaut, don't know anything pretty much about space, but when they introduce you to the cast and you get to know how they live and you learn about things on the International Space Station, whether they're accurate or not, I just found it very, very interesting, but it turns it up with the tone and the tension once war breaks out on Earth. And then they kind of go from, we don't, all that stuff on Earth is Earth's problem. We leave all the drama, all the politics, all the bullshit, it doesn't pass the stratosphere. Then once each side kind of gets their order, they're like, yeah, I trust you, but I'm keeping an eye on you type stuff. Then I think that's when the movie is at its best, when it adds that tension along with the close-ups on how it's shot. Definitely adds to the drama. That was definitely the best part about this movie. The cast I thought was good. Very small cast, 6 actors, kind of all new to the scene. The biggest name was the actor that played Euron Greyjoy. They did a good job at bringing in someone that looks menacing, but he's, is he kind of menacing? You don't really know who to trust. And I still have a bad taste in my mouth from him in Game of Thrones, where I see him and I'm like, yeah, he's bad. Get him out of here. He's the imposter type shit. But the cast overall was solid. I do wish that they would have fleshed out the main protagonist a little more. They didn't really give her too much to work with, you know what I'm saying? And it was hard to connect with her, especially because they established her as a loner. She had nobody back on Earth. She really had, no colleagues, no nothing like that. So she's put into a situation with 5 other crewmates that are worried about their family and stuff when war breaks out. So even though I'm American, I didn't find myself rooting for Team America because everybody was kind of going through it. I felt a little bit of each character. Like I could see, what they're going through, stuff like that. So it was easier to relate to the other characters than it was to her. One thing, in my opinion, that definitely could have made this movie a lot better, if it would have been like a live action adaptation of Among Us. Basically, what I mean by that is, don't actively show us who is sabotaging. Kind of keep it in the dark so it adds to suspense, because it's like, who is sabotaging? Is it the Russians? Is it some of the Americans? Stuff like that, because both of these sides are told to take the ISS by any means possible. So it's like, it would have definitely added to the tension, I feel like, if it was more like that. Lastly, the ending definitely left a lot to be desired. Definitely was a little bit disappointed by how it ended, just the immediate fade to black. Me personally, I would love to see what happens next, considering how intrigued I was with the premise of this movie. The way it just ended was kind of like, you could legit stop in the second half of the movie and come up with your own conclusions, and it might be better than what they kind of gave us at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the ending definitely left a lot to be desired. But overall, I thought the movie was solid. I'm going to give it about a solid 6 out of 10. Definitely a movie that is very streamable. If you want to go to the movie theaters to see it, by all means, but I don't think that it's necessary. Before I get out of here, I want to give a special shout out to all the members of the channel. Appreciate you guys. Channel memberships are available for anybody that wants them. Link is in the description. Appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to another year of movies, series, rankings, all on this channel. 2024 is going to be a good one. So I hope you guys tune in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys. As always, thank you for tuning into the Ace Avenue. I am yours truly, the Ace. Adios.